What's up, guys? Welcome back to another HERR Lounge podcast. I am finally back. We were supposed to record yesterday, but I decided to take Penny to go play, and that didn't work in my favor. So thank you, Rob, for coming in today.
Of course.
And being able to record.
We should say, too, that everything in the background is from the pop-up, so
excuse the mess.
But it kind of looks cool. It looks like you're literally running a shop out of here, like a clothing shop. Everything, all the shelves are empty because it all sold.
Yeah. So we just did the pop-up. Before we get started, I just want to give my positive quote for the day, and it's going to be pretty harsh, but opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, but they all stink. So when anybody wants to say something about your opinion, just tell them that we both have them. We don't have to like them. And yours stinks and mine stinks. And let's just agree to disagree. That's all I got to say. Moving on.
We should also let listeners know you just came back from a workout and you are hyped.
Yeah.
Got the adrenaline going.
I just got everything going. I done had a good little meal.
What'd you have for lunch? Are you hungry yet? Are you eating? Are you making sure you're getting all your food in?
Yeah, I'm eating. Yeah. Bro, but did I tell you about my glucose exam?
You said it came back normal.
It came back. I hadn't heard from anybody. So when they tell you, when they don't hear back from the doctor's office, that means you're fine, right? No one called me, no nothing. But then I go to my midwife, and my midwife said, hey, your testing is a bit inconclusive. They want for you to go back and do a second testing. And I said, oh, no one called me, so I had no idea. She said, well, it just says we recommend a second testing. So basically, because I'm only 5 points over the amount of what you're supposed to be after you drink the stuff so you go fasted to do the test, right? And that was normal as can be. Then I drank the thing that they give you, the liquid. Then they test you again. So I was 5 points over, but I wasn't enough to be diagnosed as digestional diabetic. So I have to take it again. It's considered inconclusive. So I am going Saturday to get it redone to see what happens. It was funny that when my midwife told me that, she said that I turned pale. And she's like, are you okay? But for me, the word diabetes is like, it's like, seriously, I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's like getting like the worst news ever for me. So I'm so afraid of it because my dad passed away from it. My dad's two brothers passed away from it. My uncle during the whole pandemic, when we were locked down, he passed away in Mexico. And
from diabetes?
Well, he got his foot chopped off from being diabetic. And then, he basically went into a diabetic coma, and that's it. So both my uncles did, and they're young. So my dad passed away at 48. My uncle passed away at 38, which means just a year younger than me. And then my uncle who passed away during the pandemic was only like 53. All super young. So yeah, imagine how traumatic that is for me. So for me, I'm so fearful of it. I like watch what I eat. And then I was telling my midwife, I'm like, I'd be lying to you if I tell you that I probably am more willing to eat something kind of like, what do you call it? I'm more willing to kind of eat whatever, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm pregnant. But I try not to miss a workout. I drink plenty of water. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like make an excuse for it, but I try to balance it out to where, okay, well, if I had something sweet today, I need to make sure that that's all the sweet I get for the rest of the day. I'm super conscious about it, which is why I don't get like, you know what I'm saying, why my test came out that way. So
how weird though. This is like the second or third, like somebody dropped the ball and like didn't get news to you, like how weird.
Yeah, I know. And I was just like, well, this is weird. I said, no one called me. I had no idea. And she said they probably didn't call you because of the fact that it was only 5 points over and it's just recommended and so I said, so does that mean I'm diabetic? She goes, well, I looked at she said glycemic index or something. And she said, that's normal. She said, had that number been off, then that probably would have meant that I became diabetic between the last 3 to 6 months. So that would have been the very first indicator that, there's something happening. But she said that number is normal. And my fasted number was super normal also. So she's thinking we need to take it again. Also, there's different types of testing you can do. So there's an hour, a 2 hour, and a 3 hour that you wait after drinking that sugary drink or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're doing the 2 hour one on Saturday versus the hour one. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I was like, wait, me? No, like... And then I was always under the impression that when you're diagnosed as a diabetic during pregnancy, you're more than likely to be diabetic after. But she says a lot of women don't. She said a lot of women, it goes away after you have your baby, obviously because you go back to taking care of yourself, being back active. So she's like, it doesn't necessarily mean that,
it's permanent.
It's permanent.
Yeah.
So for me, I was under the impression that once that happened, that means it's in your system, which means at any point you could become. But she says no, that you pretty much go back to normal. So she did ask if I was under a lot of stress. She did ask because that could also cause...
You're like, where do I start?
I was like, stress? No, not me. I'm not stressed out about nothing.
Cool as a cucumber. That might be a good segue into your events. What kind of announcements you got coming up?
So I have all these announcements to make, which this is the reason why I brought my calendar, because I was like, let me not forget anything happening. So let's begin with the HERR apparel pop-ups that are happening. We will be at the Hip Hop Vintage flea market this Sunday. And we are hoping it doesn't rain. Right now it says 50% chance of rain.
This weekend, right?
Yes. So hopefully it doesn't.
Ugh.
Is it still 50?
For Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, 50. Yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
and Sunday.
See,
70 today. Like
I know.
after 4 p.m., it's going to start showering pretty hard.
So yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this weather happening in Houston lately. So the last Sunday, what do you call it? Pop-up that we did was a makeup for the one from the 16th that was postponed. That one went okay. It could have been better, but I think everybody was busy with, their Memorial Day weekend. What do you call it?
Celebrations,
So,
plans?
Plans. So no one really was out and about, but it was an okay crowd. And then we have the live podcast happening June 16th. And just while we're on air, I'd like to thank the sponsors, which Juice Caboose, Marissa's juice place is obviously the place where we're having their event. In addition, she's also going to provide juices for everyone who's a listener. Finally can try her juice, they're great. Taking it overboard. Listen, I'm going to butcher this word. Who will be providing the charcuterie trays?
Hey.
I think I got it.
Okay.
Cups. Actually, they're so cute. I talked about those last time when I went to the Wonderland soft play event. They were there. And I was like, this was a genius little cute idea. I was like, I'd like this at the at our live event. So she'll be having that. Happy Cakes and More will be doing the little desserts. And then I still haven't reached out to your friends, so hopefully we'll have the cookies from her. And then Jackson's Brew will be providing our coffee for the night.
That's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, exactly.
Coffee.
Yeah. So she'll have that. And still haven't reached out to anybody to do our wall to take pictures on. Mm-hmm. I am getting ballsy.
All right.
And I'm thinking I want to do my own backdrop wall. I looked it up yesterday on YouTube.
To have it like this green screen kind of thing, like people stand in front of it?
Yeah, because if you think about it,
no, it's a good idea.
If I make it, I can now take it to the pop-ups too.
True.
And now it can be the wall that you know what I'm saying?
It's a brand investment.
Yeah, exactly. And I found a YouTube video that you can make it for under $100.
Yo.
Versus renting it out from someone. Although I was going to reach out to someone who my friend told me, reach out to her. She's new. She does a great job. I did look at her Instagram page. But I think I kind of want to invest in it. Just like I'm thinking I want to invest in the chairs. Did I tell you about that?
No.
So I looked up the wrong pricing. I thought they were $1.98, but that was for the kid version. But fold out chairs, the aluminum, whatever chairs, are $10 at Lowe's, right?
Like just a regular steel fold-up chairs?
Yeah, just this fold-up chairs, which I thought that's not bad.
Pretty price, yeah.
Right. We have 25 people coming, right? Or that's what we can fit. So I thought, what if I paint them pink? Hello.
Okay. Okay.
And then anytime we have a pop-up event, like, another live event, I'm not needing to rent chairs again. Although
Right.
Marissa found the hookup for $1 a chair.
Yo.
That's excellent because chair rentals are not cheap,
Yeah.
right? So, but I thought, okay, wait a minute. What if I rented the chair? I bought the chairs. It's only 25 of them. I spray paint them, that pink that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything's cohesive and it goes together. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's my plan right now.
This is a good time to mention too. Go reserve your spot.
Yes, go reserve your spot because we only have 25 spots available. Also, I have 2 people who reserved their spot, Rob, and they're not in Houston because they thought it was something they can reserve live.
Ah.
I didn't think about that one. So I don't know if we want to do this podcast live. They thought live as in it's going to be live. Yes.
This one will be live in person. The next one we can work on live streaming it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were thinking. So I said, oh, so are you coming into Houston? And they're like, no, is it not live? I'm like, no, live as in live in person. So maybe I didn't do a good job.
We've oversight again. I mean, there's so many little. Because have you mentioned the boot camp? Like reserve?
I haven't. Okay, that's my next one.
My bad.
We're going there. We will be at 8th Wonder at that pop-up on June 25th. For the HERR apparel also. And then our boot camp, the Hot Girl Summer Boot Camp, is on June 26th at 9 a.m. at Fast at 7. And it's brought to you by Cypherdemics Training, which is my trainer's company. And then HERR Athletics, because officially that day, my apparel will finally drop. And I am like beyond excited about that because, like I've said, originally, that's really what I wanted to do was athletic wear because I live in it literally all the time. I mean, I dress up, but if you gave me an option, I can't wait to get home to get into my...
I put that over there to make it easier for you, and that damn thing keeps going down.
Know.
You can tighten the big black one on the side. That sounded odd, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that one.
It's as tight as it goes, Rob. It's as tight as it goes. Okay.
We're talking about the mic stand, everybody. Yeah, it is.
I think it's straight. There it goes.
All right, cool.
And then after the boot camp on June 27th, I will be at La Pulguita pop-up, which I think that one's kind of cool because they have an outdoor theater. So families can come and hang out. They're going to have like a Tejano singer. I'm not really sure.
Tejano singer?
Yeah, a Tejano singer. I don't really know who it is, so he'll be there. I'd say his name, but I don't remember it because obviously he wasn't maybe one of the more famous ones.
Okay.
I don't know. And maybe he was if I hear a song. You know how sometimes you don't know the artist's name, but you'll know a song?
All the time.
Yeah, so maybe that's the case. But that's all happening for the month of June, guys. A lot of stuff. And Penny starts gymnastics and ballet in the same month.
Damn.
So
this month?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot going on.
That's a lot going on. And I missed my doctor's appointment yesterday because there's so much going on. I forgot I had an ultrasound yesterday. And I go to get my planner to start the week, like, you know what I'm saying, like today to see what's happening, what all I have to do. And I said, I missed my doctor's appointment.
Like
How
at the end of the
hell?
day, you didn't even realize that you missed it?
I didn't even realize it. I took Penny to go play, which the girl, Sheila from Wonderland Soft Play, she was the one that told me about this place. And it's called Wonderwall. The twins will like it there. There's 2 sections. So the left side is for 12 months to 5-year-olds. And then the other side is for 5 to 10.
Oh, cool.
It's like more of obstacle course type things. You swing on ropes. You fall in a net.
Yeah.
They've got these big things that you can, like bicycles that you can ride almost like, a little trail like this. They have this big old trampoline. I don't know. It's kind of like, it's not really a trampoline.
Oh, the
it's
thing in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have that. It was pretty cool. I did not expect for that to be like that, but it's funny because the other day when Pete took Penny to the We Rock the Spectrum, which I'm a big fan of, right? She came back and said, so she calls those places parque because I don't didn't know what to call it for her, I'd always say, "Quieres ir al parque?" Which I know that's not a park, but you know what I'm saying. So I guess it's a type of indoor playground type thing. So she said she didn't like the parque with her dad, and I said, "Why?" And she said, "Ese de bebé." It's funny because she's not even 3 yet, but she feels like that place is already too baby for her, which I was pretty impressed that she was able to express that to me, right? Because she's so little. So yesterday when I took her, and she told me she liked that place, and she's like, "I love you." She was all telling me she loved me.
That's so funny.
Because she loved the spot. So she wants to go back. So I think I'm going to take her Thursday to go play there again.
Where's that?
It's right here off of Shepherd and I-10. Okay. It's in the Heights area.
I was going to say there's a place, and I think I've mentioned it before, called Majestic Kids. It's in Sugar Land as well. And it's the same thing where it's like smaller on one side and it's bigger on the other. I forgot what the age ranges are, but we used to take the kids there a lot when they were a lot younger.
Yeah, I kind of want to do something this summer since I'll be home and not be traveling with Pete. I want to make it where on Tip Tuesdays I try to find a new spot every time, and post that as for parents who have kids at home right now, you know, for the summer. I want to see what other kind of summer camps are out there, but most of them have already started, so I might be a little late for that. But like for example, the ballet program Penny is doing is a summer program, so that one doesn't start until June 21st.
Okay.
Same thing for the gymnastics. That's also a summer program. It doesn't start until next Monday for her.
And that's one of the kind of like you go drop her off and you're with her there and you're just like watching the class the whole time, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So Penny can go to the actual summer camp that they offer once she turns 3. She's not 3 yet until July, so they won't even take her. The ballet place didn't want to take her either. But because they said, could I provide proof that she will turn 3 in July? I said yes. And then was she potty trained? I said yes. So they went on ahead and accepted her, but they weren't going to take her either.
Yeah, big props to you for potty training her.
I was like, I was on it. I was like, because I knew that I wanted her to be involved in something. I want her to do soccer too. And Luis was like, don't you think that's too much for her? Like already? I'm like, no, she's 3. She has nothing else in the world to do. Yeah. Nothing. And the only reason I thought about soccer is because she loves to run. She runs back and forth from her room to the living room. She runs to my room. And she just doesn't know how to walk. She wants to run everywhere. And so I was thinking to myself, like, could that have been from all the exercising, the energy, the amount of energy that she has is...
Because you were like that?
My mom says I was super active like that when I was her age.
Well, I also mean just you as like when you were pregnant with her.
But I was pregnant. I worked out the day that's what I don't know. I don't know if that really has any influence or...
Well, I don't know if epigenetics is the word, but I think that's kind of those traits that you get passed along to your kids just biologically, like things that you sense and smells and fears and act, all that kind of stuff supposedly, you know, passes on to your kids. I can see that. It's
interesting. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe she sees that we work out. I don't know, but she's really active. And Pete's great nephews.
Great nephews?
Yeah, because that's his niece's kids are doing soccer, and so are his great nieces also. And so I was like, what if Penny did it also? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it'd be good for her. And they can start at 3. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the kids started it also at 3 or 4.
They did? Mm-hmm. Did they like it? Or was it silly?
They liked it, but they got over it for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's so hot. That's the other thing I'm kind of like worried about. It's not even like, oh, we live in Houston. If she were a little bit older, where I could feel like she'd be able to...
There's indoor facilities. There's indoor clubs.
There is?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wondering if she'd like it. I don't know. But I asked her yesterday. I said, would you like to play soccer? And she said, yes. I said, come on, let me go show you what soccer is, you know? And then I showed her, and she wanted to keep playing. Yeah. I said, okay, well, maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
Now, they like it. I talked to them the other day. We were walking to the park in the neighborhood, and I was like, hey, what do you guys want to learn this summer? And they're like, or what do you want to play and, like, learn skill-wise? Like, well, we know soccer, and we know, I forgot what else it was. And I was like, what else do you want to learn? And they mentioned, like, football be cool, baseball be cool. So we started throwing a ball in the backyard, and they're just, the mechanics aren't there yet. They're 6, right? And I was like, all right, guys, we're going to really work on throwing the ball, because immediately threw the ball over the fence, and I was like, man. And you know what happened? It stayed over there because I didn't want to talk to my neighbors.
That's hilarious. And then she loves swimming. So
That's good. That's real good.
we went to Pete's sister's house this weekend for Memorial Day weekend, and she just did not want to get out the pool. She loved it. I had her in swimming classes from 6 months all the way to about 11, almost a year old. So she was in it the whole time. So I didn't keep up with it. So, we didn't go back, but I wish I would have, because I think she would have been great at it now.
Yeah.
And we're YMCA freaking members.
Yeah.
I just didn't enroll her. Like, I just didn't do it. And so I was just like, okay, do we try again? Because she seems to love swimming too, I just want her to be in everything. And I know we can't do everything, but I just want her to be involved in everything so that maybe we can start focusing on whatever it is that we kind of see that she likes, and just kind of, that's the thing that she likes. And we stick to that versus playing around with everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm worried that ballet will be too slow for her, because she's got so much energy. So, but I think it'll teach her discipline, right? Because it'll have to help her. She's got to wait her turn so that the first girl can make her turn. So now it's your turn. So I'm hoping that's what that will teach.
I'm surprised you didn't put her in a martial arts program.
She's not old enough. They took him at 4.
Hot damn.
So
Okay.
one more year, and
That'll show her
She's
discipline.
technically 2 still. So no one will take her, period, right now. Their tots start at 4.
Okay.
So
That makes
I
sense.
already looked it up. So yeah, I thought.
That'd be great for her.
Yeah.
She'll love that.
Well, because the place where her ballet is, there's also a jiu-jitsu place in there. And I told Pete, I said, well, why don't you come sign up for jiu-jitsu? You drop her off at ballet. And it's like, I got both my kids in an activity.
How
I was
dare
like,
you.
so neither one. So I get to have just a 55 minutes to myself. So, I was like, that's great. It's funny because lately that's kind of how I've been feeling. I just feel like there's so much happening. And I think it's because, most pregnant women during this time are trying to get themselves ready for the baby, versus I'm trying to get everything ready as far as like business is concerned for the baby. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I have no desire to, like, I didn't do a nursery for Penny. I didn't do a nursery for this new baby either. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, they're going to be in my room anyway. I'm not walking to the other room to go get the baby, breastfeed her on my rocking chair in there, putting her down, then coming back to my room.
Why not? The movies make it look so cool.
I'm not doing that. She's got a bassinet next to my bed the way Penny did. And I push it down. She rolls over. I breastfeed her. She rolls back. She gets back in there. I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just the easiest thing ever. I don't do any of that. I've had so many friends, bless their heart, reach out and be like, what can we get you, for the second baby? I'm like, this baby's a hand-me-down baby. Everything, I kept everything that was Penny's. Mom, if you're a new mom, let me tell you something, and you plan to have more than one kid, unless you're balling. I mean, you don't have to necessarily be balling. I just am frugal like that. So like, I just always made sure to buy neutral colors. Nothing that Penny has is pink. She doesn't have a pink stroller. She doesn't have a pink bed, like none of that. And it's because I always thought, well, what if the next baby isn't a girl? I won't be able to pass down these things and reuse them. So we kept the Duna. I got a green trike. Her bicycle is also green.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? The bassinet is white. You can't go wrong with that. So yeah, there's nothing I technically need. I mean, baby clothes, but they grow out of it so fast. I'm not really even worried about that. I got a few little onesies for the first couple of months, and then I've got 2 bags in the storage unit full of clothes that used to belong to Penny.
Dude, talk about making a killing on clothes. People that make clothes for kids, they grow out of them so fast. It's so annoying.
I realized that later because I used to only like to buy Penny organic onesies.
What?
I know. It's ridiculous. And then when I would put it on like a month later, this was not like first couple of months. This probably started about 5 to 6 months when I started doing that, because I found this cool place, and I really like imagination. I really like for you to pretend. And so a lot of their onesies were like pretend. And so they'd glow in the dark. So when they would see themselves kind of kick,
that's cool.
they would see color. You know what I'm saying? All those types of things are super duper like important to me. So I would invest in them, but then it'd be like a month later, it didn't fit her anymore. And they were $35, $39 a piece. And maybe to some, that's not a lot of money. But if you add up,
No,
you
hell
buy,
yeah.
I mean, I think that's a lot of money. So I just started going to Target after that. I was like, I'm sorry. It's just going to Target now. And it's like, I'm not doing this because I was feeling like guilty that I was just kind of throwing away money. You know what I'm saying? Over she's grown so fast. It's like, you know, I'm just not doing it. But a lot of the nicer stuff that I did get her, I kept for in case. Since I didn't know if we would have a girl or a boy the following baby, I still kept it. So the nicer things I kept. Shout out to Maison Boutique, who gives her beautiful clothes that is from like imported from Europe that she sells, and it's gorgeous material and it's just really pretty. So I kept a lot of the stuff that she gave her when she was a baby. Funny thing is, when I was pregnant with Penny, she was just opening her boutique. And so we created which if you're looking for clothes, go to maisonboutique.com. It's MAZIN boutique.com. And use Penny20 and you get a discount code. And we started it before she was born. And it was funny because I said, she took a picture with my Mother Day pictures that I took with her. People were asking about her dress. And I said, hey, people are asking about Penny's dress. I'm like, you know, I don't know if you want me to give a promo code for, you know, people who listen, who, you know, follow me so that they way, you know, they can check out your stuff. She goes, her code has never been deactivated. She said Penny20 is still there, so Penny20 it is, and you know what I'm saying?
She had an affiliate code before I did.
Yeah. So it's funny because, you know, she's had all that. So I thought that was kind of cool that's that. But yeah, this baby, bringing this baby into this world this time around is way different. A lot different things happening.
All right, let's unpack that.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Let's start with groceries.
Okay.
Let's start with groceries. Let me tell you how freaky this is.
You mean how expensive they are?
On top of that, I go to get drinks for Memorial Day weekend to take to his sister's house. I go into HEB and it is packed. And I just thought, oh, well, people are also getting ready for their barbecue or whatever. Yeah. So, of course, it's packed. But, I mean, it was people with 2 carts just full, 3 carts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, well, damn, how many people are they having over their house? I was in the 15 item lane and it was still packed, like for me to pay. And I was like, wow, I'm like, I cry over like $250 worth of groceries and we're just a little family of 4, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, damn. And I mean, I also don't buy junk. So that's why $250 for us isn't very much groceries, because I don't do a lot of the junk food. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, unfortunately, healthier stuff is more expensive. So I was just like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Well, funny thing is I order groceries today. So they're supposed to be delivered. Well, half my groceries weren't delivered. So I go look at my app and I'm like, it says not available, not available, not available. I was like, well, what the F? Where are all the groceries? Babysitter comes in today and she goes, man, I don't know what's going on with the food stamps. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, man, they just keep giving her daughter-in-law and her other daughter on food stamps, right? And her other daughter isn't on it because she's afraid that might backlash on her when she tries to apply for citizenship. So she's like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that, because she's not on no, you know, assistance.
Federal assistance.
Yeah, because she is afraid that might hinder her the day that she applies for her citizenship, you know? But she was saying, she's like, they're giving them $300 per child now for food stamps versus 100 and something before. So it's like doubled. So she's like, we have so much groceries at the house. It's like, you know, and I guess I don't really know how, like, I swear not to sound like, oh my gosh,
dude, I don't either.
She thinks she's too good. Nothing like that, guys. I really don't know how food stamps work. So I don't know if like she has to spend it within, I really don't know. Like,
those are honest. Isn't it weird? Okay, real quick, just remember your thought. But isn't it weird that we have to like tiptoe around these social conversations because it might come off as offensive?
Yes.
We just don't know.
I just really don't.
Just never been in them shoes. Fortunate, lucky, blessed, whatever you want to say.
And I never was, and my parents also, neither were my grandparents.
Yeah.
Like my family wasn't. I never knew what that was. I didn't know what that was. Let me tell you when I knew what that was. Okay. I've always had little side hustles. So before I had her apparel, I used to have this other little store called the Trinket Trunk on Etsy. And I would make little like stuff, right? And I also sold my jewelry, which I sell also on. That's why I started up again, because I was like, I miss that. I miss the accessories. I love accessories, blah, blah, blah. So I remember my job had a pop-up for anybody who had side hustles, right? And because you're not allowed to sell other things on, like, they call it soliciting, when you bring your like other business to there, so you couldn't sell anything you had, right? So they had a pop-up for any employee who had a business could come set up and whatever. So then I'm there and this girl says, can I pay you with food stamps? And I was like, food stamps? I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't even know how that works. Like, she goes, girl, you just go and you just use this card. And she's like, you just buy groceries. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't take food stamps. Like, it didn't compute in my head, right? Like,
I bet she took offense like a motherfucker.
She didn't, but she was just trying to explain to me how it's like money. She legit was trying to explain to me like it's equivalent to money. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, no, this is money to me. Like, I'm touching it, or you're paying with the square. That's money to me.
I'll take a bar of gold too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. But I don't know what, how that works, So anyway, so she was explaining that to me. She's like, yeah. And then our neighbor, the one that I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, she's getting over $1,000 because she's got so many kids. And so she's like, girl, she's been out shopping and da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, so guess what, Pete? We finna, I'm finna just go ahead and play the system then too. I mean, shit. People are just buying up groceries, So then I thought, Pete, I was like, is that possible that we're running out of groceries because people who are on assistance are able to buy so much, so they're buying up a lot more?
I mean, it's not impossible, yeah.
Because they're getting more money. I mean, I thought that was weird.
I mean, there's that, and there's also, there's just supply chains are still fucked up from COVID, right?
I believe that.
And then you have the meat hacking, cyber hack. So our meat production.
What is up with that? I saw that. I was like, I told Pete this morning, he was trying to tell me, I said, I just want to go to the gym today. And I don't want to talk about nothing that has to do with anything going on in the world. And he just looks at me. I said, I'm sorry. I cut him off. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I said, I'm just over everything. I said, I'm over everything. I'm over people posting we're with Palestine. I'm tired of people posting I'm with Israel. I'm just done. I'm done. I can't anymore. It's
needed a self-care day today.
Yeah, I'm going to go get a pedicure after here.
That's good.
I just said, I just don't want to think about nothing going on in the world. I'm over it. Like, I don't understand, like I was telling you before this, why that's even our battle. You know what I'm saying? Let them fight it out. I've already understood both sides of it. I've already tried to understand why there was that war. I get it. I still don't know why that's our problem. There is a border crisis, and I don't care what you want to call it. If you don't think it's a border crisis, if you think it's somebody being Donald Trump supportive, that's not what it is. I'm sorry. You can call. That's why today that was what it was for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, don't tell me that it's been happening. I am aware of that. A lot of the shit that's going on right now has been happening, but then not at the level that it is going on right this minute today.
Yeah.
Like, what did Governor Abbott just put a thing yesterday? Yeah, like it's a crisis happening. Let me see.
It's so hard to keep up with everything every day.
It's insane. It was on. They tweeted it actually. I
mean, between the Fauci email leaks, or
that
not
too.
leaks, releases.
I saw this whole thing where he literally told a woman, "Don't wear a mask. They don't work. They don't protect you from the virus." What? And this whole time we've been wearing them. I'm just like, what else? And now this whole thing with the bird flu, with somebody having the bird flu in China.
Yeah.
The C word. I'm sorry. And it's not dangerous. Only one person has it. I mean, can you even trust that? Because wasn't it how it was? The same thing happened whenever it was COVID happened. Only 3 people had it and we were fine. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. Right?
No, it's all government, ran information. Apparently that person's so well that they're discharged able or capable here in the next, soon. So it's like, all right, that's what they're saying.
And then you have people like Lena Hidalgo. If you're not vaccinated yet and you haven't had COVID, you're not a superhero. You've just been lucky. Don't push it. Get vaccinated.
Okay, funny story. I meant to bring this up on RPT because I had coffee with a friend. You know how she became our county judge? Mm-mm. So I didn't know either, right? And I forgot how the story broke down. Sorry, guys. But the gist of it is that when the election came around that she was on the ballot, something happened to the incumbent as far as like she either didn't campaign or she was kind of caught up in some kind of controversy, and she was a Republican. So we had a Republican judge before her for a long time. So when it came to election time, the people that voted against the incumbent, they voted down ticket. And when they voted down ticket and they voted all Dem, she was on that ticket. She wasn't voted in by the people. There wasn't this huge, backing behind her. She just happened to right place, right time kind of thing where they just voted down the ballot.
Really?
What up?
Thank you, boo. Look at my boo for the win. Look at this coffee, y'all.
It does look as good as it makes it sound.
It is very good. I had no idea.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Well, I know I'm not voting for her. Wasn't it? I think 2022 is when it's up. So I'm not voting for her. I don't need you to push these agendas on us. Like, I don't think I'm a superhero, obviously. I know that I can catch COVID. I know that it's a very real, you know what I'm saying? What do you call it? It's not a disease. It's a virus. So I don't need you to tell me, you don't think it's real? You don't think you can give it to other people? Not saying that either. Yeah. All I'm saying is your vaccine has not... Listen, when Trump went and told people to get it, didn't nobody get it, right? Mm-hmm. But then Biden went and told everybody, and everybody says, Daddy Biden said, so I'm going to go do it, right? That's okay. But because it was Orange Man Bad was the one that was the first one. Even when he said it, I said, sir, you are not convincing me to go do it.
Not at all.
I'm sorry. Thank you for coming up with a vaccine so quickly to solve this issue, but I'm not going to get your vaccine. I'm not going to be the lab rat. I'm not, not yet. I'm going to wait until this goes on a little bit longer and they figure it out. And then once they figure it out, I'll go ahead and, after this baby is born, if it's really needed, then I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against vaccinations whatsoever. I'm just against people pushing it, people giving away, putting your name in a lottery, winning 1.2 million if you get it, or now you get you get a scholarship for college. And bitch, shouldn't y'all be already giving money out like that?
Right. Or
you don't want people to get educated? I mean, come on.
Or incentivizing them in a more positive way, right? So right now we've got these money lotteries, we've got free cheeseburgers, free donuts, free, there aren't any health memberships, there isn't any kind of HSA savings that you can earn, there isn't nothing. It's all the things that will already make you more sick, plus, let's take this jab.
I mean, I don't get it.
But if you are going to want to travel, and I know you're a traveling kind of person, probably going to have to eventually.
That's why I said, I know that it's going to come, it's going to end up coming. I'm not against it. I don't think that I'm not going to catch it or that there's not a possibility that I could.
Sure.
I just feel like I need some time for this vaccine to be around just a tad bit longer before I can make that decision of putting that vaccination in my body. You know what I'm saying? And I just need to wait. And I'm going to wait until I feel like I'm ready. And you're not going to keep telling me that I'm this bad person or that I don't care about my grandma.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Or that I don't care about my family because I can infect them. I am sorry. You're not going to do that to me. And if you're going to allow people to bully you into doing that, then I'm sorry, but that's just your problem for allowing somebody to bully you into getting this done.
And it goes back to freedom, right? Like Hidalgo isn't this person who's touting, make your own decisions, have your own informed opinions, make your own, have your own free choice. That's what I like. Mm-hmm. Someone who is a leader is going to tell you like basically these are your options, choose, whatever you think is wisely and then go from there. Not do this or you're a fucking bad person or you're not a whatever, XYZ fill in the blank. That's not the right approach when you're trying to win over anybody.
Oh, man.
What's up? What'd you forget today?
He forgot the boba.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
That's the best part of it.
Where's that Biden drop? I need to put it on here. Come on, man. The
I
thing.
just told him, too. I was like, you forgot the boba.
How dare you?
He's probably on his phone when he ordered it.
He had one job, Chingo.
So here's what Governor Abbott did. So Governor Abbott issued a disaster declaration for the border crisis.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Now, people are mad at him for doing that, right?
People. Can we start right there and say people? What can? Que gente? Huh? People that are virtue signaling that haven't actually been to the border, don't know what the fuck's going on?
Here's my thing. People are like, whatever you want to call them, people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Where were you during the freeze disaster?
Freezing our asses off.
Why didn't you do anything then? Now you're worried about it? I'm just like, guys, just stop already. Just stop being. I just feel like all we do is we're just a bunch of freaking softies. All we do is complain. All we do is cancel people. It's just like...
Tell him, Naughty Soul. Just bitching.
What? I mean, is your life that miserable that you don't have other focus? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love that this lady, this comedian that I follow, his name's Monroe Flame. He's a comedian. Do you know who I'm talking about? No? Funny as hell, right?
Monroe Flame?
Yeah, that's what he goes by.
Cool statement.
So he's Monroe Flame, and one of the things that he said, right, was this, and people were bashing him about it, but let me play this real quick. And it's an old, from what I understand, it's actually something that's old.
The world is not going to see us. We keep asking for inclusion. And if you force feed anything on anyone, you make them hate it. The gay community, my community, we are forcing, take us, see us, accept us, let us be with you. You don't need to get down with my lifestyle. That don't mean I can't be your neighbor. I can live next door to this nigga. I ain't got to go to his house for barbecue. He probably don't season his food right anyway. I ain't got to go to his house for barbecue. But we can coexist in the same neighborhood if I stop trying to put my lifestyle to make him accept what I am. I don't ask him what he doing. My business ain't his business. His business ain't my business. But that ain't what we want. We overly sensitive as a nation.
Overly sensitive as a nation.
Yeah, that's what's happening to comedy. Everything is so sensitive. You can't say this. You can't say that. You can't offend this group. They gonna start burning flags in front of your house and going marches and shit. Oh my! The world is not gonna see us.
I mean, I can't. You know what I'm saying? It's like. It is. It's like Blue's Clues. What are you doing?
Yo, did you catch the BLM hand on the microphone? Mm-hmm. Bro, what's going on?
Blue's Clues. When I saw that, I was so happy that my child does not watch any of that stuff. I'm so happy.
Flame Monroe? Oh, Monroe. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, because I grew up on that shit. You know, I remember Blue's Clues growing up. I remember my little sister watching it when she was 5 years younger. It was still popping, and I guess it's still going. Different guy, obviously, but that's that shit we talk about on RPT all the time. Where that stuff isn't for us. You know, it's not for the adolescents. It's not for the teenagers or the adults. It's for the kids, right? It's to get them early and get it in their heads early.
And listen, here's before people start saying, "Oh, she's so anti." I'm not anti anything. I think you have the right to love whoever you want to love. If it's another man, then you love another man. If you love another female, if you're in a heterosexual relationship, I really don't care who you love. Just stop trying to promote it onto children at such a young age to where it's a question thing now. So now you're going to come home and ask your mom and your dad, hey, at school, we saw this thing.
Yeah. Right?
So what does that mean, mom and dad? Because at my house, it's my mom and my dad. It's not two moms and it's not two dads. I think that's the responsibility of, to be honest with you, if you are in a gay relationship and you bring a child into this world, I feel it's your responsibility as a parent to explain to them why they as a child don't have what Jenny over there has, which is a mom and a dad. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's anybody else's job. I don't think it's Blue's Clues, Disney's, Nickelodeon's, anybody's job to be educating other people's kids on what any of transgender or any of that stuff is.
Any of that stuff. And even culturally, we've talked about this. We didn't get even the birds and the bees talk, you know? And you
had to sign a paper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You signed a paper in 5th grade if you wanted to learn about... Have I told you this story? So we learned in 5th grade about so you're, excuse me, about period, puberty.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
But in ours, it was the boys and the girls together. I think now they do them separate, if they still even do them. So they did the boys and the girls together. So first it'd be the girls part. It was just a video on top of that, right? And it's like, does anybody have questions? It wasn't like, let's go through and explain.
Oh, you mean they weren't explaining masturbation to them?
No. But they did say how boys wake up with an erection. Okay. And so that was something that stayed in my head. So I was older now. I think I was in junior high, and I don't know what made me, we were doing something with science, but it made me ask my dad. And I said, Dad, is it true that boys wake up with an erection? My dad didn't know what to say. I was now in probably the 6th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like he just solid red, was so embarrassed. He just said, who said that? I said, school. And he's like, if that's what school said, then that's what school said. That's all his answer was.
That's all he told you?
That's all he said. He wasn't going to sit there. I mean, I told you, my mom thought we talked about this, about how she thought I pooped in myself when I started my period.
Right.
That's how we didn't talk about any of those things at home. We definitely didn't talk about anybody being gay or transgender or a transvestite. How I saw what a transvestite was, in Mexico, my cousin's uncle is gay, okay? And so he would have these parties, right? And transvestite men would dress up as like celebrities. So it'd be Selena, it'd be all the big celebrities, and
Juan Gabriel.
My cousin's uncle, rest in peace, he would do Juan Gabriel. That was his role, right? And so that's where I saw, but all you said was, all my parents said were like, these are men who dress up as women. That's all it is. They like to do this. No one judged them. No one said they're going to hell, or, you know what I'm saying? God doesn't love them. No one said that. You know what I'm saying? It was just, these are men who like to dress up as women, and they do these shows and they get paid. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's a really cool job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get so glamorous because they looked amazing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, they were like the best tuckers everywhere. It's like, where do you tuck it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they'd come out with these amazing costumes, So transgender was not necessarily a thing. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a transvestite thing. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like this comedian. He dresses up as a girl, but he lives as a man during the day. He's a comedian. He's got kids, but he also doesn't try to push any homosexuality type thing on his children. You know what I'm saying? I just think that as parents, we're maybe not doing, we're just allowing for media to be too involved in our children's life, and we're just not taking more control of those things. You know what I'm saying? And I have no problem, none whatsoever, with whatever you want to do. If you want to love a pole and that's the pole you love, right? Then that's the pole you love. Do I have to agree with it? No. Do I have to be okay with it? No, right? Can I find it odd? Yes, because I don't understand where you're coming from, and I don't understand why people get so mad when someone doesn't understand where someone is coming from. Why are we so mad at the world? I mean, all these videos of fights breaking out at the airports, what are y'all fighting about? What? We're adults. Like, we got to wake up and work and pay bills and make sure, you know what I'm saying, the lights ain't cut off. Like, what can y'all possibly be fighting about?
I hear you, man. We're supposed to be trying to keep this going. It seems like we're just trying to tear it down completely now.
What are we fighting about? Like, I don't get it. Grown as women, grown as men.
Yeah.
What in the world? We're not kids anymore. It's like, give it a break already. Like, let's focus on being better humans. I just don't understand why it's so hard to encourage just us. Like, damn, bitch. Like, why we got to be mad at each other all the time? Damn. I just can't anymore. Whenever you'll send me stuff or I send you stuff, I'm just like, what else? Just what else is going to happen in this damn... When I saw the Blue's Clues things, I about lost it.
Yeah.
I said, come on. You're an ABC show. Like, and what I mean by that is like you're supposed to teach ABCs, colors, squares, circles. You know what I'm saying? This ain't your place. This is not your job. Stop.
I was trying to think of one of the songs.
You if you want to celebrate gay pride, go ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have to be in that way. It can be something where like you just show rainbow, like happiness. And I think the message should be more about accepting.
Sure.
Not so much about going as far as like saying everything, like transgenders, binary, whatever. What is it, the other one?
Non-binary?
Non-binary. There's so many.
Yeah.
I just can't keep up anymore. It's like, can we just stop making up stuff?
Yeah, and those are all, for lack of better words, they're all just bad ideas, right? Not all of them, right? But like what we were talking about yesterday was one that I heard that it's people that identify as outer space beings. Like that's just the thing, But okay, cool, man. You want to be an outer space being? That's fine. They're bad ideas that are trying to be pushed upon the common folk to teach to their kids or even to accept as like dead naming, right? Which is basically when somebody's already transitioned and you call them by their previous whatever. If it's like Caitlyn, and you call him, you say him versus her, and you're purposely dead naming that person. That is offensive. You can get kicked off Twitter, all that kind of shit. I mean, some of that stuff, okay. I mean, we're just gonna have to work into these new norms, but it's not something that's just going to happen overnight. And they're trying aggressively to try to have this changes over day. Like you got to accept all these things, acknowledge them, and teach them to your kids also all in one swing. Like it's just not the way it works.
I found this other person. Well, I didn't find him online. Pete told me, have you ever followed? He's like, do you follow Angela Stanton?
I do, yeah.
And I said, no, who is that? He goes, I think you should follow her. I think you'd like her.
She's been on the Gabrielle Union and the Dwayne Wade kid thing. Hot,
Bad.
like hardcore.
But she doesn't give a shit. I mean, her son is also transgender.
Right.
And did you see the interview she did with Hollywood Unlocked where she was like,
dude, that guy is such a piece of shit.
I can't stand his ass. I can't. But I couldn't believe when she said, it's like, I birthed my child. I know what he had. I knew what he was before he knew what he was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as a parent, like that guy doesn't have kids, so I don't think he understands. And I think as a parent, if your child told you he is transgender, I really think that instead of you automatically jumping on, okay, I'm supporting my child as transgender, I think that it should be like, let's talk about this. Like,
what brought about this idea?
What do you think? Why do you think this is happening to you? When did you feel like you've been having this? You know what I'm saying? I would be more of a, let's talk about this. I'm not going to be against it either because it's my child. I love you. And I mean, if that's who you want to be, unfortunately, that's what I'm going to have to accept because the only thing I'm going to cause is division between my child and I, right? The only thing I'm going to cause is for my child to feel resentment, like he has no one there. And then that causes what? Depression, could lead to suicide. I don't ever want that to happen to my child, right? But I'd like to be able to understand it. Where did I not catch it as your parent? Why didn't I see the signs before? You know what I'm saying? So instead of automatically, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't want to use the word glorifying, but instead of you automatically jumping to my child is transgender and we're going to advocate for my child, let's figure out what this is.
Advocating is a good word.
Yeah, advocating. Yes, I guess. Let's go see a psychiatrist. Let's talk about this, a psychologist, a counselor, a therapist, whoever. Let's go talk to someone because I'd like to know what happened.
Let's break that down actually, because you have kids, you've had kids, 2 of them that you've cared for, you have a third on the way basically. When it comes to the communication, just culturally, how the way we grew up, how did you grow up when it came to like corporal punishment?
I got a spanking.
Okay. How do you feel about that in 2021?
I spank her.
Okay, cool. How do you feel about communication?
We talk. Right. I think.
Did you feel like you had enough of it growing up, or that?
No.
Okay, cool. So we're exactly on the same page, and that's all the stuff that we, as parents now in 2021, are maybe a lot of them are battling with. Like, do I still hit? Is that bad? Are they going to call CPS? Am I over communicating? Am I babying them because I'm trying to talk too much and treat them like adults when they're only 5 or 6? But in reality, a lot of those things they have to coexist together. Like, thump her on the mouth if she spits at you when she's not supposed to. Pop her on the butt or whatever. But also, if something like that comes up, talk to them because they will give you more. The way that she explained to you, like, it's pa bebé, right? And you're like, oh my God, how did you express that to me? She can express anything else basically after that point.
Like, for example, I know this is really bad. Like, why did you do that to your child? But I was kidding, guys, before anybody's like, oh my God. So Penny's funny thing is, right, the terrible twos, they're now happening as she's going into 3.
Because those are 3-nagers.
Yeah. So, is that what it's
that's what it is.
Okay, so I don't know where this is coming from, but she gets pissed.
Bro.
And she throws the stuff at you, and I'm not having that.
Oof.
And so she knows so she can get away with it, though. She knows she can do it with Dad. She knows she can do it to Luisa, but she knows she doesn't do it to Mom. Okay? I don't play. We were on the bed, and I don't know what Pete did, and she didn't want Pete to touch her. And she tries to hit him. And I said, hey. I said, do you know what's going to happen to your hands? Because you're not supposed to hit Mom and Dad. Do you know what's going to happen? I said, your hands are going to fall off. And she's looking at me. She just looks at her hands like this. I said, and then if you do it again, I said, I'm going to get a knife and I'm going to cut them. And Pete goes, whoa, you just took this to a whole other level. He's like, don't tell her that because she's going to go repeat it. And I was like, I'm just playing with her. But I just, like, you know what I'm saying? And I am playing. I'm not, obviously, I'm not going to cut off her hands, before it's like, what kind of shit are you telling? It was just like, she just looked and then she looked at her hands. Okay. So she came in the other day, right? And she kind of felt like she wanted to hit. And then she looks at Pete and then she looks at me and she goes, no pegar porque se va a caer mano.
Yeah.
O cuchillo así. And I said, yep. Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
So all it took was for me to tell her there didn't need to be any spanking. I didn't need to hit her hand. I didn't need to do, and like I said, granted, that was extreme. I know that, right? I was just kidding with her, but I needed her to understand, like, you can't hit your parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not okay. It's not okay to hit anybody. Does that make sense? But I need for you to know that you definitely you're not going to be hitting your parent. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I don't like any of it. I don't like misbehaving. I check her real quick. I have zero problem with it. Like, and it's funny because Marissa always says, Luisa has too much say. Luisa just doesn't like, when she tried to hit Luisa, instead Luisa hugged her. And said, no le pegas a Luisa, mami. And then she's still mad at her and she's pushing her away, right? But that's her way of talking. My mom, this Sunday, took care of her while we did the pop-up. She got pissed at her and threw the Play-Doh where the top of the Play-Doh hit my mom's lip. So my mom's got this bruise on her lip.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And so my mom, I said, well, did you spank her? She goes, no, I'm not going to spank her. She's 2. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's 2, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I said, now she's 2,
what
right?
What about I was 2?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, no, I just told her she can't do that. She goes, and that was enough. She cried because she knew that what she had done was bad, And, but I can't say this more than one time. It starts in the home. You know what I'm saying? But this is the kind of shit that we're getting to. So she had posted this, tweet from, I guess, women who are tweeting. It says, if we not married, why would I give a child I carried for 9 months your last name? Why? How? Okay. Then somebody replies, if we're not married, it's my child. And I don't have to give my child that I carried for 9 months the last name of a man who ain't my husband. He's just the father and there's no long ties to him. Even if we're married, I don't need to give my kids my husband's last name. It's 2021. What? I get it.
That's a bunch of word salad right there.
I get it. You're right. You don't have to give, you can give your child any last name you want. It doesn't even have to be yours. You can make one up if you want. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my friend, when his parents became U.S. citizens, they changed their last name, and you're never going to know that they're Korean.
Yeah. Dude, an example of that was yesterday. So Don's super, like, when it comes to, I don't know how you are about language, but I have never really cared about, like, I have friends that have kids and they swear in front of them. I never swear in front of my parents. I don't swear in front of other people's kids. Definitely don't swear in front of my kids. But I always thought that it is what it is, right? They're going to learn those words eventually. Once they hear them and they use them, you have to teach them about the word and when not to use it, blah, blah, blah. So yesterday, Weston said, he was playing on his tablet or something. He was like, oh, what the hell? Like that. And I was like, I looked over and immediately I was like, what's going to happen? Because she heard it and he said it and she looked over there and she didn't really say anything. And then I was like, hey, what'd you say? And he repeats it. And he's like, where'd you hear that? And he's like, I don't know, immediately thinking he was in trouble. And I was like, hey, you're not in trouble, man. I just want to know where you heard it, because no one swears around him, right?
Yeah.
So he came over, and apparently he had already said it, and she kind of talked to him about it. But I always take it, and she'll tell you this, I always take it way too far when it comes to communication, because I want to get to the root of everything when possible. So I talked to him. I forgot. I don't know where I heard it. I forgot. So I was like, okay, well, you can't play on a tablet until you explain to me where you heard it. I don't know where I heard it. I don't know. I was like, okay, well then I guess you can't play. So he just stood in the kitchen while we were cleaning and stuff, washing dishes. And he was like, well, I think I heard it from a school friend. I was like, oh, okay. So now you remember, like, you heard it from a school friend, like where? At camp, at school? He's like, one of my preschool friends. I was like, okay, do you know what it means? No. Do you think it's a good idea to use a word you don't know that it means? Like, no. It's like, what should you do? It's like, ask mommy and daddy, or ask a teacher. It's like, yeah, exactly. If you don't know what it means, you could be rude, you could be mean, you don't know what you're saying. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. You're right. I shouldn't say words I don't know what they mean. And that's it. And now he gets it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know what something means, he's not going to go around yelling it.
Yeah, and that's I think I said that last time on the podcast. I wish my mom, I'm glad my mom was never my friend.
Totally.
Okay? I do thank her for that.
I wish that would have been nicer.
I do wish that they would have been my mom was nice. She wasn't. I can't say.
No, my parents were nice, but
they.
yeah.
I think they could have done. I think my dad was better. My dad didn't spank us.
My dad didn't either, because he probably would have killed me if he did.
My dad. All he had to do was talk, and we were scared.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
I was not. I didn't. I think I talked back to my dad twice in my entire life, and that was it.
Oh no, I definitely talked back.
No, my mom. I ain't gonna lie. She let me get away with a lot more than my dad did.
Turn that big black one on the corner again. I know it's tight, but you got to try to make it tighter.
It's as tight as it goes.
Okay, I'm throwing that shit away. It sucks. All right.
So, but I do wish my mom would have been a little bit more. My dad did talk to us. He was a little bit more like, this is why you're not doing this, and it's not your choice. I'm telling you why, and maybe when you're older, you understand.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know I'd still get mad, but it was like, okay, well, at least he gave me a reason. My mom used to always say, I hope you become a lawyer, because I used to always ask why. Pero ¿por qué? Nada más quiero que me diga por qué, and I'll leave it alone, right?
Porque te dije.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hate saying that now as a parent. I don't like saying because I said so.
Right. And Mickey doesn't give us a reason to do anything. My biggest issue is the amount of time on the phone. I can't stand that. Like, it's just too much. Like, for me, it's like there has to be a cutoff. Like, she shouldn't be allowed to sleep with it, in her room. Just things like that. I know that she's a teenager, so I totally get it, but I wish that she would be a little bit more involved in other things. You know what I'm saying? But she's going to be in breakdancing this summer, and she wants to work out. So I told her I'm so down. I told her I'd go get my other Apple Watch wiped out so she could have it if she was serious about her really wanting to work out. And so, I'm all about, I encourage anything that has to do with any since she was little. We did gymnastics, anything that she a little bit showed interest in. I immediately found the class, the school, whatever it was. Yeah. Let's do it because you showed interest in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the interest is like for just a couple of days, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, what? I just paid for this whole class thing. Like, you need to finish it. Like, and not because I want to be a little witch, like you're going to keep doing it because I paid. I need you to understand that once you start something, you have to finish it. In life, that's kind of how it works. It's just a life lesson. It has nothing to do with, I spent the money, or, you know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with this battle of I'm the parent, you're the child. It's teaching a moral, and the moral is
it's discipline.
Yeah. Yes. You can't just start something and quit it just because you just all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was having this conversation with my sister this morning, actually, dude. And it's funny you say that, because what was your quote? What was today's quote?
Opinions are like assholes.
Right. Everyone has them, they stink. So similar to that, conversely to what I was telling my sister, we're talking about, she's almost having like a little mini existential crisis, right? And she has a problem with staying focused and motivation and all that. And I was like, look, motivation's like showers. They work, but they don't last long, so they're required daily. So you got it, and that's where the self-discipline thing comes in as well. So it's all cyclical. It all works in together, and you have to be very proactive at working at those things, because, and this is kind of like maybe a little too grandiose for the conversation, but we're talking about America earlier, right? And how great it is, and all the things we get to do, and it's people are crazy and wacky, but we all have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We're not guaranteed happiness. We're able to pursue whatever makes us happy. And it's hard, man. It's harder for, Mickey's 12, 13, she's going
About
on
to be
13.
13,
In the world right now,
Yeah.
I can't, when I was 13, it was pretty tough and iPhones didn't exist yet. I can't imagine right now.
And when we went to that class in a church, when they talked about like how the phone is just so evil and how there's so much on there, it's crazy because I was telling Pete, I was like, I shout out to my mom because she did such a good job of making sure that you were secure with yourself. Like, you don't need to look like anybody else. You don't need to be like anybody else. Like she would always say, God only made one Marisol and you don't need to be like anybody else because no one else is like Marisol. And so she'd try to explain that to me because whenever I'd want something that was in style, her question was always, why do you want it? And then I'd be like, oh, because, it's in style right now. She's like, okay, but do you like it or do you like it because someone else likes it? And I'd be like, no, I like it and I already know how I'm going to wear it. Oh, okay. So the fact that I knew that it was a style, right? But the fact that I said, I know how I'm going to wear it, right? That was the whole change for her. She didn't want me to try to
be like somebody else.
She wanted to know that it's because I like it. I want to rock it, but I'm going to rock it my way. You know what I'm saying? So she would be okay with it. But she was really big about self-esteem and, you know what I'm saying? Really big about making sure that you knew that you were one of a kind. Ain't nobody else out there like you. So growing up, I didn't have a lack of confidence and I was a chubby girl.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was a chubby kid.
I hear you.
So it wasn't like... I don't know if bullying wasn't around, but I used to get told that I was chubby by adults more than I did children, because it would always be the
Family's
comments
brutal.
comments at church would be like, "Oh, hermana, ¿qué le da de comer?" And I'd just be like, says the fat man, you know what I'm saying, who is really saying this comment to my mom, and he's just about as fat as I don't know what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd always be like, okay, but you know what I'm saying? I never got teased by children. If I did, maybe I blocked it. I don't really know, but I don't remember being bullied in school. I mean, I had no problem making friends. It wasn't around like it is now. And I just think...
And now it follows you home, unfortunately, through cyberbullying, which is a thing.
Exactly. And that's why I feel like when Mickey says something, she doesn't like something about herself. I always say, well, I think you're perfect.
Yeah.
I said, I think you're just like beautiful. I don't think there's anything on you. Like, if I were you, there's nothing on you I would change. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make sure that she knows, like, you don't need, just because you see these other little girls and they look cool and they're maybe doing things that you're not doing yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need that. You don't need none of this. You don't need makeup. You don't need, you know what I'm saying? Like, any of that, because she's always complaining about her bags. And I'm just like, you just got to go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go to bed earlier. I was like, that's why you have bags. You're not, I don't want her to I just don't want her to feel like she's got to
have
uphold
inadequacies
this
at 12.
At 12. Like, she's got to hold this like image, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're 12, like have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got nothing to worry about, but go to school and try to like find a hobby that you enjoy. You know what I'm saying? If I could be 12 again, oh my God.
Bruh,
you know what I'm saying?
If I could be 26 again, my sister's 26 and she's like, it's kind of like a career conversation we're having, like going back to school or, further in degree, different career choices. And she kind of kicked it off with like lack of self-confidence of like changing careers or school or whatever. And I was like, look, first of all, start there. Like, no one gives you self-confidence. You give it to yourself. So until you figure that out, don't even make any other commitments because you're not going to figure it out.
I know what I lack. And one of the things is discipline is not something I lack, right? But procrastination is definitely my biggest thing. So I know that I have to be on it every day. Like, I can't be lazy one day because I legit will throw off the remainder of the week.
I agree.
So like yesterday when I took Penny to go play and I was already there 3 hours, all I kept thinking was like, oh my God, my work is getting like more delayed. And I know when I get home, I'm not going to like want to do it because now I'm home. Now it's probably time to start getting her, what else is she going to do when she gets home? You know what I'm saying? So like, I get this little, I don't want to, like, I guess it's anxiety, but I start to think like, I already know what the domino effect of me falling behind is because I know that I lack, that's one of my weaknesses is, you know what I'm saying, procrastination. So I have to be on it every day for that reason. And because I recognize what my faults are, I think that's how I'm able to stay on it a little bit better. If maybe I just didn't.
No, yeah, it's totally. It goes hand in hand. Like if you have the discipline, that's great. But if you procrastinate, it'll waver.
Yeah.
That discipline will waver for sure.
Exactly. So that's why it's something I have to work at every day. There's not a day that's kind of why I like Saturdays or Sundays, because I don't have to think about or work on anything like mentally. And so then I feel like, okay, these are my days to procrastinate, if that makes sense. Like, okay, I can sit here for a while and it's fine, because anyway, no one's going to answer an email today. No one's going to take a call today. So it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'll be fine getting to it when I get to it. It's just the same thing with like pastries when I eat them. It's just discipline thing. It's like I just need a couple.
There ain't no discipline there, fam.
Yeah. Well, I need a few bites and then I'll put it up. And I told you, my friends used to always be like, how the hell? Like I have a protein cookie in my purse and it's got several bites and it's just bites from throughout the week. Yeah. And no one understands how I can't sit and eat a whole cookie. I just can't. It's just a mental thing. It killed it. It killed that one, just like.
Yeah.
I just had 3 of them and I'm okay now. It's like full. Yeah. I just needed something sweet for a little bit and I'm good.
But that takes practice too.
It does.
Because you're gonna eat a few bags to begin with, and then you're gonna learn how to put it down.
Yeah, and for me, I love chips too. Like if I make homemade salsa, and we have some of those.
Oh, chips and salsa, yeah. Or I thought they were talking like kettle chips or.
Yeah, even those. Yeah. I mean, and I buy them for the kids, so they're sitting there sometimes, and like I'll just look at them, and I'll just be like, yeah, you don't need to eat that. You know what I'm saying? Just walk by it, get over it.
When I go to the stores, I'll always ask the kids, like, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. Do you guys want anything? And typically they're just like, either probably like, no, we're good. Or they'll say like pineapple, strawberries, like, okay. And then yesterday, Brooklyn said, ooh, Oreos. They never say shit like that. I was like, okay, cool. Got the Oreos, brought it back, made them lunch, and gave them each 2 Oreos. And I was like, well, so I had one.
Have you done the 100-calorie?
The thin ones? No.
So they have them. See?
Like that size?
Yeah.
100 calories for the whole bag? Because 2 regular Oreos was 140 calories.
I don't know how they do it, but yeah.
Granted, these were mega stuffed.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but they were on sale, so I was like, well, I'm not going to get the regular ones. It costs more than the mega stuff. So anyway, I looked at the back of the nutrition labels, and I tracked it. Like, I'm tracking my macros, so even that, I put it in. But it was worth it. I looked over at Dawn. She's shaking her head. I was like, worth it. I don't care. I tracked it. I tracked it.
I know what you mean. Because there's Chip Ahoy's. Do you see them?
Chips Ahoy?
Chips Ahoy, whatever they're called. You see them up there? No. I saw them, that they were Reese's Pieces. And so I was like, oh my God.
That's the best candy in the world.
And I bought a whole thing just to be able to eat 2 cookies out of there. No one has touched them. They're still there. If they've been eaten, it's just because Mickey will maybe grab 2. You know what I'm saying? I grab 1. I'm a one cookie, and I'm going to go sit and do this. Like literally bite it, have a drink of my coffee.
Yeah. So it lasts or what?
And I don't know where that... I really honestly have to say it came from when I started bodybuilding, because I knew it's weird, because you know that your food is only going to last for so long. And so you need to kind of stay full until the next meal.
Totally.
So I think that I learned to eat really like to where I chewed every bite so that I can like, I guess it's a mental thing.
One, it's have enough, because you can get to 5, 6, 7 o'clock and you're out of food and you're like, fuck, can I just go to bed?
I told you what happened when I was in Vegas. When I was competing in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you ran out of food, right? I was
done with my food. And I said, I can't do this, Pete. I'm like, literally the machines in the casinos were like, dun, 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 dun. And I was just like they were winding down. And I was just like, I started to feel like I was dizzy. And I said, I need a refresher. Like I need sugar, right? And I said, give me a protein pack. I said, I'm going to have to sit down. I was like, I'm not winning anything. I was like, I'm not going to kill myself over this, you know what I'm saying, over a competition, you know what I'm saying, like I don't care. So I only ate the egg that's in there. So and I only ate the egg white. I threw away the yolk, like
the best part.
I know. And then I had almonds that were in there, and that was it. And then the refresher. Even then, right, you would have thought I would have eaten the whole thing, but I knew the almonds couldn't do that much to me, and I knew that the egg white wasn't going to do that much to me either. I knew that I was going to have to get the sugar from this refresher because I felt my sugar drop. And so I was like, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to start, you know what I'm saying? I'm not winning anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a trophy, but you're not like, it was also like, I think I was trying to get a pro card there in Vegas.
Was it an IFBB? No,
it was still muscle. No, it was fitness.
Was it WBFF?
It was part of, I told you, they used to be on TV. It's the fitness.
I remember, but I can't remember the acronym.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't remember what it is either. But Karen won there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it was crazy, but I was just like, that day was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not winning no sponsorship. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is not my career. I legit do this as a hobby. This is fun. If something great comes out of it, perfect. If not, then nothing came out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Every time we talk about this, I mean to ask you if you know, because we talk about DLB, you know, the last couple of weeks and all the nutrition stuff. Do you know who Lane Norton is? No? All right. I'm so surprised. But he's a powerlifter, scientist, PhD, nutritionist kind of guy. And his wife is as well. She's also a powerlifter and a legit PhD scientist. And their approach to nutrition is all very science-based, right? So that's who created the app Carbon that Don and I have been using. And I just got his book called Fat Loss Forever. And he calls everybody out on Twitter and Instagram for all the bullshit, like the no carb zealots, you know, the vegans, vegetarians, all that stuff. He's like, it is as simple as calories in, calories out. We know this. Can you do low carb? Can you do carnivore and have it work? Yes. But when you talk about the ramifications of not understanding food and your body together, it's never going to work. You're going to be Oprah. You're going to yo-yo diet your ass until you're Oprah. And that's just the way it is.
That's my argument with Pete every time. Do you know that?
No.
Because
why? Because he's doing intermittent fasting right now?
Here's the thing. I don't care what you do. You can do keto. You can do, what is the all meat one where you do
carnivore?
Okay, you can do that. I don't care what you do. At the end of the day, we're doing the same thing, guys. Like, and so it's about portion control. It's about how much you're putting into your body. It's the oldest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's the most common sense thing in the world. And I've understood that when I started bodybuilding. And I understood that if I drink this, I know how much sugar is in here because this is a macchiato.
Yeah.
Caramel on top of that.
Ooh
Okay.
la la.
So I mean, hello. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know. So it's like
It's not a skinny version from...
It's not a skinny version from the Vietnamese place. No, they're using the real deal there. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know. I don't need for you to tell me. You're not going to tell me that you don't understand if you have 3 tortillas, rice. Okay. Let me see what another carb us as Hispanics throw in there. Well, everything has carbs, but I'm talking about like...
I mean, even beans, frijoles.
Yeah, frijoles do too, but I love frijoles. I can eat beans every day. Yeah, I pretty much
I can
do.
eat beans and rice still, and I grew up on that shit.
I try not to make rice as much. I try not to make Mexican rice. I'll do white rice or brown rice when we do have it. But yeah, I mean, there's just certain... It's just common sense. It's like...
But it is really hard, and I empathize with people because I told Dawn, I was like, after we get back into the shape we were in when we met, we can literally write one of those books where it's like fit to fat to fit to fat. To fit. Like how many times we've done it, and I think now it's going to stick more than it ever has because she's not going to legit go and get like a bikini card, pro card or any sort. I'm not going to fucking do any kind of company, but we're going to take all the knowledge we've learned over the last decade and make sure that we're going into our 30s and 40s and beyond with the idea that we're doing this for longevity.
Exactly. Like that's my thing with people when they come at me and they're like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I can't because I have this issue. Okay. How did that issue create though?
The root again, the root.
Exactly.
What is the root of it?
So every time I would train someone, I try to be very empathetic at the fact of what they would, and I would try my best to explain to them that they're there because of some other decision they made along the way. And I hate to say that, but it is true. We decide what we put in our bodies. No one is forcing you to eat it. No one is saying that you're going to get freedom back if you, you know what I'm saying, you eat a donut. Or are they? Oh, wait. Yeah, they are.
Look, what I will say is that when people talk about food addiction, I totally empathize again because unlike drugs or booze or whatever, those addictions, like you don't need those to live, but you need food to live, right? So you don't have to drink every day or do drugs every day, but you do need to eat every day. So those that have that psychological, imbalance where they're just so broken. Like for instance, when you diet and stuff, you will come across those days, especially when you're competing, where you're like, I need something now, right? And your mind's gonna fuck with you like that. But you get over it, maybe you have a nibble of this or a drink of that, and you just make it to the next day, because we're trying to average out what we're consuming over the 7 day, over the course of a week, not just the weekend or Friday, Saturday, but the whole 7 days cumulative. We can put all that together and get to our goals. And it's tough, but people have that problem where they can't get through those habits, those I want it, I need it, those cravings. Like it's really, really tough. And that's where a lot of people, I think, are falling short of their goals, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think that there isn't some kind of, because again, some people, like when they're depressed, their thing is food, right? Like I told you, for me, when I'm stressed or sad or anything, it's not food at all. Like that, I don't even want to look at food. Like I'm just.
You want the fan on? I put it right there in front of you.
Sure, you can tell that I'm just like, I don't know if it was the coffee or what. I was like, damn, I hate it. So I get that. I know that it's very much real, and I know it's very much like, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing, but, I feel like a lot of the stuff, like with the virus that happened, you know what I'm saying? If we just did a better job of taking care of ourselves as well, making sure we have our supplements, making sure we're eating, it's like I always tell everybody, it's 80-20. You don't have to like,
totally
eat clean every day. You're allowed to live. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's some people like DLB who choose not to. I think her cheat is probably wine, because I think but she's clean 90% of the time, and her 10%, I think, is the wine. So we all have something that we like to cheat with. You know what I'm saying?
And she makes her living looking that way, though.
Exactly. So that's different. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that, for example, when I started teaching Zumba, I was overweight. I just graduated college. My aunt was just opening her gym. And that was one of my reasons why I didn't want to become an instructor, because I had told her, I said, I'm not where I was before. I said, I need to get back in shape. I said, and then I think I'd be a better teacher. And then she said, well, I think that's what's going to motivate these women, is the fact that they've seen you start a certain way, and your journey is going to be with them as well. So she convinced me. So shout out to her for, convince me. And it is exactly like that. Every day I felt like I had a job to do. And my job was that I couldn't be this instructor that sat in front of the class telling you, come on, you can do it. Come on. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that cardio up. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, I'm sitting heavy set, and you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the total opposite of what I'm trying to preach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I know there's a lot of instructors out there who are overweight, and I think some women relate to them and like that better, because that was some of the things that people complained about me. They felt intimidated because I was fit. So it didn't always work in my favor, right? For some women, they felt like, hell no, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go in there with her. She's going to be judging me the whole time. It's total opposite. No one ever saw like what I started off as and where I went, you know what I'm saying? And how far I had come. And, it was hard, guys, because it wasn't the easy be thin like I was before, where I knew that if I had something, it didn't matter, because, and you're younger, so your metabolism is way better.
That too, and women in general, you're predisposed to carry more fat. Like that's just genetically exactly. how y'all's genetic makeup are. So it's even harder. So I empathize even more so with chicks. Like I would see when I first started working out at LA Fitness 10, 12 years ago, whatever, I'd see these bombshell blondes working out these really chubby ladies. And I would say to myself, like, man, good for them, because they have this bombshell blonde who's like, maybe they're aspiring to look like, but at least they're in there and they're making the effort and they're getting over that intimidation of going to the gym. For chicks in general, they need to find the resources that really help them out. Mighty Soul might be that person for you, with whatever you have coming up, these boot camps, the Patreon exclusives we're going to do, all the stuff. It's going to help out, because you have to get over that mind barrier.
And you have to really just kind of want to change. And that's why I said, it's not about, guys, it's not about it's not about like, I want to have the I honestly just want to have the most healthy heart.
Yeah.
That's really what I want. And obviously having a healthy heart means you eat better because you can't have all this fat around your heart, around your organs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you did want to make it about vanity, though, the better you look naked, the better you're going to feel about yourself, the less stressed you're going to be, and the better your heart's going to be.
Facts. And you want to know why? Like, Rob, when I was like super fit, there was nothing better than me knowing when I walked into the store and I was getting a small, extra small.
Yoink.
I knew it was going to fit. It was going to fit. I didn't have to be like, ooh, well, sometimes these smalls come a little smaller than the smalls from this other store. So I don't know. It was like, what size? It didn't matter. And it was the most best feeling. But let me tell you guys, even when you're fit, I don't know, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but sometimes even when you're fit, you're even hard on yourself. I saw this picture that came up on my memories the other day and I saved it because I wanted to show it to you because I couldn't believe that I remember when we were going to this wedding. It was Pete's friend's wedding. And I remember I put the dress on and I just remember thinking, oh my God, I'm so big. I can't believe I've allowed myself to get this big, right? And
everyone listening is like, man, I feel you.
Saw this picture and I said, I remember thinking to myself that day that I was big and that I should have done a better job of keeping up with myself and, you know what I'm saying, not letting myself get overweight when I've worked so hard to be a certain way.
Well, we've all put on that COVID-19. Is that you?
Yes. Exactly. Where am I fat there, Rob?
Nowhere.
Do you see how even someone sometimes who
dang, might as well looking in that good thickness.
I mean,
legs look like a soccer player.
Like I swear I felt like I had a stomach. I remember putting this dress on and I remember when I bought it and I remember it came in the mail. I just remember thinking, oh my God, I see the little pouch. I was like, there's nothing on me. And when I this memory came up thing on my phone, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I saw other pictures of myself and I remember those days too. I thought I was big and I don't know what it is with us.
Honestly, body dysmorphia is what it is.
Yes, it is. Because I remember looking at these pictures and thinking like, this is not myself. There's a picture of Pete and I on stage that someone took. And I remember thinking like, I remember like, oh my God, I got to suck it in here.
Oh, it was the bottom part, the twisty part. That's fine. It won't go down now.
Okay.
So what, even here?
I thought I was so big there, Rob.
Oh my God. So you're ridiculous.
Exactly. I am ridiculous. That is ridiculous. If I can show these pictures, guys, I'm going to make this when we do the, what do you call it?
You should put it on the story.
The clip.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is what I was talking about. So if you're following our account on HERR Lounge podcast, you'll see what I was talking about. But I just can't believe I'm wearing a t-shirt here because I feel like I'm fat also.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, you want to know what size my pants were?
1.
2.
2.
But I felt like, oh my God.
This is a 10.
I'm in a 2.
10.
I was finally going into a 6 before I got pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, I'm finally getting somewhere. And it's weird because you start to accept certain things, guys. Because even when I was going into that 6, I kind of had already told myself, which is becoming complacent, to be honest with you. I kind of had just told myself, like, you're probably never going to look like what you looked like before even having Penny. So just accept that and be fit, right? But you're probably not going to be able to be super flat like you were before.
Yeah.
So and the reason I had told myself that was because if I exceeded that, I wanted to feel like you did better than what the standard you had set.
Right.
And that's kind of how I work. So that's one of the things I always give someone as a tip. It's like, stop trying to say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this month. You're going to fail. Mm-hmm. You're going to fail, especially if you're just trying to get thin for a wedding.
Like studies have shown, those people that, and we've all been there, I'm guilty of it as well. When you yo-yo diet that way and you say, I'm going to lose I had a destination wedding, I'm going to drop 20 pounds in 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever, you're going to end up gaining it back and more. You literally develop more bigger adipose tissue.
Yes.
That then becomes harder to take off later.
Exactly. And that's why when someone says, do you know of any detox?
It's not a thing, man.
I can't recommend a detox. I'm sorry. I'm not going to recommend that to anybody. That's also brands that reach out that would like for me to promote their detox. I won't do it.
Unless you've been taking gear and maybe pro hormones and you need like milk thistle or something to detox your liver. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about the only type of detoxing you should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can't do that. I can't tell you that. And don't say either that you use this sweat stuff on your stomach and then
sweet sweat.
There you go.
Yeah,
and
great
then,
ads.
And then you know what I'm saying. All of a sudden now you're going to have a 6-pack, and because you wore the faja with the sweat stuff, now your stomach is flat.
I mean, the poor man's sweet sweat is the what is it? Abilene.
Yes, but I love that stuff. When I was in boxing,
Yeah.
I would use that.
Yeah.
But mind you, I'm in boxing. It's actually something that boxers would use during, like, to start shedding their water weight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
I have some underneath my sink. That's funny you say that.
It works. But like you said, it's water weight.
Yeah, it's water weight.
Yeah.
So it's like I use that right before, like I'm towards the end of my what do you call it? Shredding.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go into the sauna. I'd put some of that stuff on and start shredding. But it's because I'm trying to get shredded for a competition.
Yeah.
So it's right before I'm trying to lose every little bit that I have so that I look shredded for the day of competition. And that's why people, whenever I would say, I don't have a recommendation for this, I don't have one for that because I don't do that. It's like sometimes people would get offended and say things like, you shouldn't dog anybody I'm not dogging you. I'm just saying I don't do it, so I'm not going to recommend it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to tell you that this faja that I used is what helped me get this any results.
Yeah. So I'll say this, like, this will be the last thing I say on it, because I know we're beating a dead horse to some people, but I hope you guys enjoy it. As somebody that went from 280 to 180 to 260 to 200, now around 220 this morning, trying to get back down into the 200 or 190 kind of place. You can't throw everything and the kitchen sink at yourself, right? Otherwise, you're going to have nowhere to go. Competitors know this. If you start the beginning of a 16-week prep, 12-week prep with the calorie deficit, 3 hours of cardio a day, 2 hours of strength training, on your first week, you have nowhere to go week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So you got to do it slowly. Make sure you get your steps in, get your water in, get the food intact, get your salt intact. And then you're at week 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're up in cardio a little bit, just 10, 15 minutes a day. And then you get to week 10 and 11. And then you start, it's all a process. But you have to want to learn that process. Otherwise, you're going to fail again and you're going to be worse off.
And then frustration, I think, is a lot of reasons why people just kind of like give up on fitness, period.
Yeah.
And I can't express that enough. I think that's why a lot of the girls who I trained would come to me, is because it was never like, it was never, I was never sugarcoating in anything. I wasn't going to I wasn't going to say what you wanted to hear. I wasn't going to do it because as a trainer, I didn't think that was okay for me to say. Now I wasn't going to be like, oh yeah, girl, you should not, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to do that either. You know what I'm saying? But what I wanted to help always understand is that you are 100% in control of everything that you do. And you, more than likely, are in control of the grocery shopping. So whatever's in your fridge, you're guilty. And everyone's excuse was always this: but I also have to cook for my husband and my family, and they're not going to want to eat this. So it's really hard for me to like sit there with them. Yeah, it's called discipline. And it's called, I really want to. And then guess what you end up being? The example for your family, because you're showing your family that, okay, I can't eat this with you every day, but on the weekend, you know what I'm saying? When it's our family day or whatever day is your family day, you know what I'm saying? Where you all go out and hang out and do stuff. I don't mean like every night when you have dinner. It's like, okay, this is the one day I get to, play and do whatever. I'll eat ice cream with you. I'll eat this with you. Because then, guess what we're doing? Now we're passing down good habits versus diabetic habits.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Totally.
So now we're showing our kids, right? Like, okay, well, my mom, you know, when she would sit at the dinner table, she would make sure that she was eating all this, you know what I'm saying? And then I noticed that she did that. So I didn't want to eat this either. So I started eating what she's going to eat. And I know it's hard. It's introducing little stuff little by little. Trust me, it was hard going on the road with Pete and prepping. I mean, I'm taking meals. Your meals are disgusting by the time they get to the destination where you're getting to. Okay. They've been sitting in either I've already frozen them in sandwich bags. So they're disgusting when they've been defrosted, and I'm eating these. Okay. Once we get there, it's gross. It's the grossest thing ever. Chicken smells the worst. I freaking hate it. And it was like I had a competition, but I also had to work. We had to work. So it's like I had to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't just do whatever. We went on a family trip to San Antonio. I packed all my meals for the entire weekend in a cooler, and they were in my backpack, in my 6-pack backpack, anywhere we stopped. And I remember his mom saying, I can't believe we're eating barbecue in front of you. They have a picture of me. I've got to show it to you. And I'm holding my meal like this and I'm laughing. You know, I'm just smiling. They're all eating ribs and, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here, I'm eating, I think I had broccoli and salmon that for that meal. And I mean, I'm drinking a bunch of water. I'm drinking a bunch of caffeine just to kind of stay, so that I kill the appetite, you know what I'm saying? So that I'm not hungry, you know what I'm saying? So that I can survive for the remainder of the day until my next meal, because I know that they're not going to eat anything healthy, you know, and they don't have to.
Yeah.
Because they're not the ones trying to compete. Didn't nobody tell them to compete, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, that's your fault, girl. You want to be competing? That's your thing. That's not my thing. That's why I understand when moms will say like, but my kids and my husband, it's not their thing. It's your thing. So it's you feeling better about yourself. Yeah. And this is what you have to do to feel better about yourself, you know? And sometimes it has to do financially for some people. Mm-hmm. It's like, I can't afford, but you can, because you can boil a chicken.
Yeah.
You can make white rice, because you buy white rice anyway to make Mexican rice. So let's just assume, dude, right?
Just get an air fryer.
Yeah, air fryer solves everything.
Yeah, we do about chicken breast tenders and potatoes almost every night.
Yeah, I do everything in there too.
Yeah,
I even make like little biscuits in the morning in there. They're so good.
The flaky ones.
Yes,
you know,
they come out so perfect in there.
And I just found that out like a month ago.
Yeah, I do pretty much everything. I think. Oh, I've made flautas in there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
I made flautas in there, and they came out perfect.
Dawn made nachos. She put tortillas in there, and then cut them up and made them nachos. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I made flautas and then they were great because you feel like you're eating flautas, but they're not greasy. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So they're like perfect. So if you don't have an air fryer, for sure, get you one.
Yeah. And what Marisol's talking about is like on the competition level. If you want to live a healthy life, like you can still introduce everything that you regularly like eating as long as you track it and it fits your macros, it fits your lifestyle, it fits your body type. And you start learning about, I didn't mention this earlier, but we all have a metabolic set point, and everybody's set point is different. We all know those people that can eat anything and they won't gain a pound. Their set point is there. Yeah. A lot of other people's, myself included, my set point's a lot higher, and if I want to change it, it's going to take a lot of effort to make sure it gets lower, body fat gets lower, and the new set point develops after 6 months, a year maybe, of real dedication.
Yeah, that's same here. I mean, I'm not a naturally thin person. Like I tell everyone, I'm not naturally thin. I'm a naturally chubby kid. I'm a chubby girl. I mean, there's an inner fat girl in me always.
Forever.
So I have to work twice as hard to keep it off. Like I can't even pregnant. If I like have even 2 days of just kind of like not really watching one, I feel sick. Like you guys have no idea. And it's just your body's okay with like a day of shitty eating. But when you do 2 days, at some point it's just like, hey, like, we don't do this. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure if you know what we do usually, but this is too much. This ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And slowly your body will start to kind of feel like I can't do this. Like, and you'll feel it yourself, because even whenever I was trying to breastfeed, eating white potatoes, eating all the things that I was having to eat to keep my milk supply going, right? Because I was trying to do sweet potatoes because that doesn't have enough as many calories as the white potato to help produce the milk, right?
Potato.
Potato. I can't say it the other way. It makes me feel like I'm speaking like I'm European.
Okay.
Potato. Potato.
Potato. Potato. Potato.
Okay. Well, my potato. So yeah, so like it was weird, and it was just like, okay, I can't do this. Can we go back to oatmeal? Okay, the oatmeal I can do because I can't do these. So I did the peanut butter balls with the oatmeal and peanut butter and all that because I just couldn't. Your body just doesn't. It was when I was finally starting to drop the weight, I just kind of felt like I told Pete I was getting frustrated with myself. I said, because if he would have said that day, hey, you want to go have a Vietnamese sandwich, I would have been like, okay, let's go have one, right? Versus prior to that, like before I had Penny, had he asked me that, even if I wasn't competing, right, I would have been like, can we wait till Saturday to have it? You know what I'm saying? I just had like 100. And so I would get frustrated with myself. I told Pete, I was like, I just need it. I need to find that hardcore discipline that I had before again. Because that's the only way I'm going to get fit again. Once I get fit again, then I know I can just coast it after that. I know I'm there where I want to be, and I know how to maintain it, and I'm good, right? But when you're trying to get there, the discipline to get there is just extremely hard. And I feel that's why I when Sean said this about us having a boot camp, I said yes. Because I told him, I said, I've been wanting to get back into it. I said, I had even wanted to reach out to the guy where I used to teach and be like, hey, I'm not certified, but I can teach boot camps, which, you don't need a certification for that. So I was like, my body felt like it wants that back. It misses it. You know what I'm saying? Versus you working out for yourself versus like, having it for someone else. And so when he said that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, I'm excited about that. I can't wait. I guess, and I'm more so excited because also my athletic wear is going to drop finally that day. You know what I'm saying? Because I support so many other brands in athletic wear, and I just had been wanting, and I finally found the right, like, fabric where you bend over and you ain't worried about if you can see your booty. You know what I'm saying? And so I just kind of felt like, okay, I finally found what I was looking for. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited that I told you I'm going to go all the way to 3X.
Oh, yeah.
So
Size-wise, yeah.
I really, I want to encourage women who are 2X and 3X to find cute clothes to work out in so that it can motivate them to want to be smaller. And I know that so many people like embrace their thickness, which is not bad either. But at some point you're going to have knee problems. You know what I'm saying? At some point, carrying a lot of weight becomes a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you can just start working on your health, not so much on, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to look better than her, is if you just do it for yourself, I think that it's a really big satisfaction versus just going to, get surgery. And I don't know, it was for me, I guess. Because I know that I could have gone to go get
that mommy makeover
without a problem, and I would have been back to where I wanted to be, but my arms would have been fat. You know what I'm saying? I would have looked weird. You know what I'm saying? Like fat arms. My face was probably still going to be fat. You know what I'm saying? Like chubby. So it's like, that's odd. Her body doesn't match the rest of her.
It'd be like everybody else on Instagram.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So with that being said, I'm just glad this boot camp is happening. I hope you guys come out.
Full circle.
And don't be afraid. I know that a lot of you is like, oh, I wish I could do what you do. It just takes practice, and it just takes, discipline. It takes routine, making it part of your routine. Even if you just start with 3 days out of the week, that's all really you need to kick it off. You know what I'm saying? And everything falls from there. And don't forget just to be a good human.
We need a lot of those right now.
Stop falling for all this propaganda that's happening on the media. Do not listen to it. Don't even look at the news, guys. Like, find your own resources. Like, do your own homework and just stop believing, and don't fight with anybody about their opinion and your opinion. And you have the right to your opinion, and I have the right to my opinion. And like that comedian said, Monroe Flame, it's like, we can all coexist together. We didn't have a problem before. It was not that big of a deal before, whether you were gay or not. I mean, I know back in the 80s and all that, but you know, if you're just a good person, it's like, I don't care what my neighbor's doing. Do you?
Yeah, not at all.
I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah, I care so little. Leave all my toys in their backyard.
Yeah, exactly. I say hi every day to my neighbor, to the one on the left. If I see him outside, how are you? Great. What you been up to? Oh, you got a new job? Good for you. I mean, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I really, honestly don't care. I'm just trying to get my paper so I can retire and just not stress about anything, making sure my family is good, you know what I'm saying? Making sure our parents are good, you know, our siblings, you know what I'm saying? Our
health, wealth, and relationships.
Exactly.
Those
it's
are
like,
the pillars of life.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it. There is a crisis at the border, whether you want to say there is or isn't, there is. And I don't care what you say. And I don't care that you say that it's been happening. I am well aware, but it's insane right now. And if you can show me, and if you can prove to me that it was just as bad during another administration, then I will say you're absolute. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But I have yet to find one because I've been looking at it. I went pretty far back whenever even it was Reagan, because that's supposedly the reason why he did the amnesty thing. Mm-hmm. Numbers are nothing like what they are right now. So I've asked Rob a gazillion times, what can we do besides, like, who do we write letters to? Like, who do we, because if nobody at the top is doing anything, we as citizens have got to do something, either, you know, whether it's continuing to nag them about, you know what I'm saying, the situation, you know what I'm saying? It's just awful. Yeah. It's like awful. And I hate to see it. We are in crazy times. If you ain't right with God, you better get right with God. That's all I got to say. Because this is some crazy times.
Almost apocalyptic feeling.
Very. Like, it is. It's there for me. I just, like, can't. Even, like, it's funny you say that because we've been watching, what's it called? The World. What's that show on HBO?
Oh, Westworld.
Westworld.
Ah, cool.
So we've been watching it, and I just told P, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to keep watching this. I was like, I just feel like what's happening there is going to start happening in the real world. And I already felt like what's happening now, we've seen in movies. Okay, I'm going to end it here. I promise you guys. But the fact that there's a video about CHINA, where the girl is basically doing the credits, the credit score thing.
Yeah.
What is it? What is that called? It is, right? The credit, not literally your credit score, right, but it's like a score.
It's like a social score.
A social score. Yeah. There you go. I said, Pete, that was on Black Mirror.
It was, yeah.
I said, how is it on Black Mirror? And it's happening now. Who knew about that already? That it was made into this could never happen. It's on Black Mirror. It's a sci-fi show of hypothetical things that could maybe happen in the future.
Yo, I remember reading, and I'll leave it with this, during the last summer, that Black Mirror had to postpone its upcoming season because too many of the things that they had written into the episodes were happening in real time. How
is that possible, Rob?
It's not. I don't know. Who
knows about this?
Who, what? I don't know.
Who knows about this? And why is it... When Pete was let me hear the video, I was like, is that real? He's like, yeah. I said, wait, is that in the U.S.? He's like, no, you know where that is. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Because when I saw it on Black Mirror, I was freaked out about it. I said, because it's already kind of like that. It's about how many followers and how many likes. And oh my God, the algorithm is messing this up. And, you know, I have to put money behind this post, you know, and I know that's how we promote now for things. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I've been slacking on my social media lately. I've just been busy.
Yeah.
And I've actually like it's felt great not to be on social media. Yesterday I was finally back on it, and I just told people, gosh, I gotta get back on here to, make sure we promote these things, and you know what I'm saying. And for me, it's a business thing. You know what I'm saying. I think I could do without personally. I think I like checking it once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't like to just constantly be on it. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get the phone. You know what I'm saying. But like,
if it's too much, you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I
I'm just like, oh my God, this is all this is all that's on here. Who do I unfollow? I'm tired of seeing this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much. But guys, if you haven't seen Black Mirror, it's the episode about your social score. And it's basically like how you can buy a house. It's basically how you get treated at a store, at a coffee shop, and it's like
taxi stopping for you, all that stuff.
And it's happening now, and they're starting this. They're going to kick it off in 2022 in CHINA. So these were people who they've been basically like testing, and they've been watching them and seeing how it works, and it's crazy because they have that already. It's called WeChat, and they have this other on WeChat. You do everything on there. I told you that. So when we went to China, it was like my girlfriend. That's how her motorcycle broke down, and so she just said, "Can I WeChat you?" And she's like, "Yes." And it's basically you pay someone from there. You check businesses from there. Don't go there because all the business reviews are bad. And it's like everything is on this WeChat thing. It's like their Facebook, but WeChat.
Okay.
And so I had it on my phone forever because that's how I would keep up with my friend, because she can't have Facebook when she was in China
or Twitter
or Twitter or any of that. So I had to have the WeChat because that's how I kept in touch with her when she was out there. I mean, she lived out there for 12 years. So this is how we chit chatted. This is how we talked. This is everything. So I had to create a profile. I never posted anything because what was I going to post? Like, I don't even like Facebook. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, and so it's crazy because I can't believe this is, that's why I said Westworld was getting too like,
you still got to watch it though.
These robots are going to turn on us. I'm like, what? No, man. I was like,
did y'all start season 2?
That's season 2. Yeah. I was getting kind of confused yesterday, so maybe you can clarify some things. But yeah, guys, just man,
keep your heads high. For sure.
Yeah. Just be alert. You know what I'm saying? Like
Chingo says, keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, it's just like just be alert. Just don't let people influence you. You do what's best for you and your family. It's your decision. It's okay if other people's decisions don't match yours. It's okay if other people's beliefs don't match yours. But we have been living like that for the longest, and we've allowed, I think, for the world to influence a lot of us to where we've now not been able to get along with other people. And I don't have a problem with any culture. I don't have a problem with any sexual orientation that you want to be.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't have time for it. I don't. So, it's getting too much. And we need to start focusing on family. We need to focus on, being united, and just being good citizens of the world. And so with that being said, come out to our live podcast on June 16th.
If you want to experience these feelings in person,
come out to our pop-ups, guys. And then if you want to get your body back for the summer, start working towards that, come join us June 26th. I'm really excited about it, guys. And this is for everybody, all fitness levels. It doesn't matter. So I said no guys, but I think a guy signed up. And I can't say, hey, I'm not going to say, hey, you can't come. So it is an all-girl boot camp. That was why it's called Hot Girl Summer Boot Camp. But I'm also not going to discourage a man should he want to come because, maybe he wants to.
Hey, bro.
He wants to get, but.
Find another day.
But
no,
I told Pete he needs to have a Mamado team boot camp.
That'd be funny.
I told him. I said, because Mamado's coming back.
The real Mamado.
So Mamado needs to have a Mamado boot camp. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
So I told him, I said, you should really plan on doing that. I said, I think a lot of guys would be up for it because there's a lot of guys that are into fitness. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I think that'd be kind of cool if you did it. So come out, guys. All the information for all our events are at marisolherrera.com. So please check it out. Don't forget to reserve your spot if you want to come to the live podcast. We are limited seating. So, and then again, shout out to all the women-owned businesses who are helping make our live podcast possible as well. So see you guys Friday.